Alright folks, hello and welcome to another Titan Vial stream. Today we're going to be trying something new that was suggested by a member of my Discord, Vial. And what they're doing is they were testing Slayer's Stronghold in Titan Vial, which I thought was an interesting idea, particularly because in this deck, even more so than in AmuLIT, Stronghold granting Vigilance is a huge deal. Cards like Thalia, for example, they work very well in offense and defense against creature decks. So now Thalia is against something like humans or even prowess, honestly. If they don't have, like, you're forcing them to remove the Thalia. I guess that they're probably gonna remove the Thalia anyway, so it doesn't really apply. But against the, like humans or Eldrasitron, like now Thalia is trading. It's not even trading. It's just like blocking profitably a Thought Not Seer or something. Knight of the Reliquary, of course, huge, right? Like being able to attack with a massive knight and activate it on combat or on your opponent's step on the next turn if it gets jumped. And of course, you know, good old Primetime likes to be hasty and vigilant. So in order to make room for these cards, what we did is we added a couple of lands. You're gonna notice that usually my lists have 27 lands. So here we're actually playing 29. We're gonna see how this feels like, and we're adding a single copy of Sacred Foundry. We're adding Foundry not only because it can get fetched with Winsapkeith, but also because if you have two Flagstones, you can actually go get the Foundry, which I expect this to be a not particularly rare play pattern. The one thing that I'm not so sure is that Bedell was playing a second basic planes. And I think that when you're adding Sacred Foundry, you probably want to play a third copy of Forest if you want to be playing 7 basics. That's where I'm at least. When I was playing 7 basics, what I did is I added an extra copy of Forest. But like this deck like currently has more white than green sources, which is funny. But yeah, so what we did is we cut one Golos, one Primetime, and then everything else kind of remains the same. Nylia has been moved to the sideboard where it's sitting with the Arasta, and everything else, if you've been following my recent leagues and my recent configurations, you're gonna notice that this one looks pretty similar. Besides the fact that we're adding Stronghold and a couple of extra lands. Also, I think that 3 calls is probably the way to go. I went 10-0 the other day with 2 calls, 1 Ranger Captain, but just call is so sick. Was a vacation got a conclusion, lacerations at the head, injured. Oh man! Wow, where did all of that happen? That sounds terrible, my friend. Did you go hiking or something? That also kind of sounds like a potential ski injury or something like that. No, doesn't sound like 80%. No, I know. Feels bad, man. "20 kilometers on an e-scooter threw me off." Oh, brutal. So we're playing against Caleb, who says that he's watching the stream right now, so he's turning it off. I assume that he's playing AmuLIT. He's been doing well with Monkey AmuLIT, which I streamed yesterday. So I'm assuming that that's what he's on, which is terrible news for us, by the way. Really bad news. Guess we keep this and we hope. So what this is this this allows me to reclaim it on 1, activate it on turn 2, and go get Ghost Squatter, and then loop with ramming up. No. Can't really get a hit on mana here, which is unfortunate. I would love to draw Knight of Autumn so I can slow this down. But if they have any sort of reasonable draw, we're gonna be in rough shape. I guess we can draw Flagstones. If we draw exactly Flagstones, we might be fine. If we draw exactly Flagstones, we might be okay. But yeah, we're very, very much an underdog against AmuLIT, in case you didn't know. In fact, I think it's probably this deck's worst matchup right after Scapeshift. Like, Scapeshift is the worst. Scapeshift is basically unwinnable. Scapeshift is basically unwinnable, and then there's... Oh, they're gonna monkey me? Summoner's Pact. We're totally gonna get monkeyed here. I'm scooping to a Titan. Yeah. We cannot beat this now. It's too early. Alright. Damping Spheres, Knight of Autumn. Paths are mostly to answer Dryads. I think we don't care about Thalia. Could try Eidolon. I'm not particularly excited about that prospect. Simian Spirit Guide. Yeah, you didn't. You have to watch yesterday's stream. Coffee Pirate, who actually played it. Was cool. All right. We really need to find lands with this hand, but like this hand has everything that we want. Like we have a Reclaimer, we have both Dryads actually, because we can use Knight of Autumn to slow my opponent down. We have access to Pathless Interaction. Like basically this hand has everything that we want. So land, easy. We have a way to blow up our own Vial. Yeah, we have everything. I was actually considering blowing up a path in my own Reclaimer there. Good thing that I didn't do it. Definitely blowing up the Dryad. Next turn we can call for Ramanap. Okay, so the last card in hand is actually Titan. and a bounce land. So we're probably going to spend this turn to path the Titan. And activate Reclaimer. Next turn, Violin in Dryad. Next turn, we call for... Yeah, we just call for Raminap. Good value that way. So we force the Titan. We force them to choose what they're going to do with the Titan first. Of course, Caleb is no slouch. Playing around their removal spell. The good thing is that if they play around with their removal spell like they just did, it means that there's no reason for us to path, right? So they're going to be spending their next turn paying for Pact. And now what I can do is I can go get a basic Plains. I can call for Raminap. Excavator. We activate. We get Valakut. Violin in. Dryad. Leave these on 3. Raminap. What's the best thing to do here? I think it's best to activate first. Get fetch, get fetch. Skills the prime time. We actually have lethal here. No, we don't. We have to kill a Titan in order to get through, so never mind. But it's good enough. It's good enough. Oh no, we just passed the Titan. Yeah, that was actually lethal. Good stuff, good stuff. All right, what now? On the draw. Yeah, same hand. Could even path around dudes to shoot more Valakuts. I also like to leave dangerously. So turn 1 Vial, turn to Sphere, turn 3 one of these dudes. Probably the Dryad. If we draw land, any land. Okay, we still get to draw lands here. No, this matchup is bad. They're faster, yeah. Does my list run Gross Quarter? Yes. In fact, my list even plays a tech edge in the board. Okay. Damn Sphere, let's go. If they have a Dryad, we can play it at a bottom now. It's pretty cool. We still need to find something like a Reclaimer would be great. Reclaimer, or what's his name? Rex Sage, blow up what? Damn Sphere. Annoying. Quite annoying. So that means that they have Titan next turn, very likely. Shit. We can still draw Valakut though. If we top deck Valakut, if we top deck Primetime or Golos, any of those could potentially be game over. And the reason why I shocked instead of fetching with Heath is I want to make sure that we get value from this. And by saving the Heath, what I'm doing is I'm making it so my opponent cannot use Bujuki Bog to deny me the Remina value. Okay, so there's the prime time. Hey, they got monkey. Okay, Valakut, Primetime. Valakut, Primetime, Golos. Something like that. Another Damping Sphere. Doesn't quite do it, unfortunately, for us. Doesn't quite do it. Doesn't quite do it. It does give us one extra draw step, however. Because it means that there's no way that my opponent can play a Dryad this turn. I cannot trade with the Titan. I need the Dryads to survive so that I can give myself the out to draw Valakut, right? I'm not interested in trading with this Titan because we're dead. Do you press a button to move all the land tab lands to the left? No, it just does it automatically whenever it wants to. We still have good draws here. Titan wins the game for us. Ugh. Does that do it? They haven't played land, so that might actually be able to do it. That might actually be able to do it. Wait, what? Why the attack with the Sage? So if they have, I'm just gonna block the Sage with the ramming up, right? Because if they have Valakut, they're gonna kill the Sage regardless. They're gonna kill the ramming up regardless, so it doesn't really matter. Okay, so now at this point, does a single Valakut do it? Do they have Pact? There's no way they brought Pact against me. Explosives. Okay, so we have to draw Primetime, Valakut. I guess Valakut doesn't do it anymore. We need Primetime now, or call. Yeah, this would have been good 2 turns from now. 2 turns before this. Or if we had a Stronghold in play. If we had Stronghold in play, this could have been great. It's cool that we were this far behind and we still had access to outs. Now they got explosive, so I cannot beat this anymore. And they have red, blue, and green. So yeah, it's cool that we did have access to outs, but like the AmuLIT matchup is still really bad for us. Yeah, Orano, so your line was to play to not lose, right? So I answer the Titan, and then my opponent just transmit for another Titan for the following turn. My play was to actually win that game. So by not blocking and leaving the Raminap and the other things, the two Dryads in play, I am allowing myself to get lucky and draw either a Valakut or a Titan or an Eladamri Skull, particularly. Eladamri Skull is the big one because that's the one that I'm actually allowing myself to draw, because I can just like fetch and get more lands and in order to call for a Titan and cast it in the same turn. So I think that it's definitely correct to not take it there, to just take the Titan attack. No way of knowing, but would holding the second Dryad and Vial activation for Knight have changed anything? I doubt it. I doubt it because, again, what I'm saying, like I allowed myself to have one extra good draw by doing what I did, because I got one extra land drop in play. I didn't call it from the top, that was the misplay. Fair. Get a basic forest, player play Mirror. Well, move to 5, by the way. So maybe Tron or Dredge or something. Okay. Yeah, Leviathan, that's my point. Like you guys' line is playing to not lose, while my line is playing to actually allow myself outs to win the game. Because in that board state, if we draw a Titan, we actually win, right? But we actually have a lethal, because we can make infinite land drops. I mean 3 land drops, but we can continue triggering Valakut. We clear my opponent's side of the board, or just go face. Reclaimer striking fear into their heart. Yeah. Okay, so do we think my opponent is on Dredge, or do we think my opponent is on Tron? I think I'm gonna think that they are on Tron. But I'm not gonna be ballsy enough to side out my Bog. So I'm gonna bring in Damping Spheres, but I'm not gonna side out Bujuki Bog. We're gonna learn more about their deck after this game is over. What kind of deck do that? Mulligan to 6, Dredge and Tron. That's why those are the decks that I'm sideboarding for. Pirate is a taxes grinded. They also play scales, but LOL. Okay, good to know. I still think that in the blind, that's what I would have done. So I still think it's probably correct to do this. My opponent's going to get some value by me sideboarding poorly, of course, but that's why if they didn't have a good draw, it's strategically correct for them to concede before doing anything, right? This hand sucks, so let's ship it. This hand is great, so let's keep it. And I think I'm gonna bottom the Golos because we kind of don't need it. They multi 5 again. Texas. We know it now. Hopefully no turn 2 Arbiter. If we don't have a turn 2 Arbiter here, I think we're going to be in really good shape. Okay. So I guess we have to slow down now. Of course, my sideboarding is quite poor here, right? C'est la vie. Let's do this. Hey, McDerp. Been busy and away from Magic? Oh, we're doing great. Breaking the format with this sweet pile of cards. Which is kind of hilarious. It's been a lot of fun. Mine Certain for 2? Fuck, man. Alright. That is their hand, though. Honestly, this Mind Sensor is a lot worse for us than the Arbiter. The funny thing, though, if we draw a Valakut, we kind of win. Well, they have to have a path, right? The last card in hand has to be Path to Exile. That's probably fine, though. All right, we whiffed. Yeah, this is kind of GG, but not really. So now we're one Valakut away from winning the game. Spammer is acting up today. You might need to censor your opponent's game. All right, good to. Thanks for the heads up. Damn, even with all of the stuff that you had, Spike, like that person was still. That's so fucked up, man. Like, it really is. Like, what's the point? That's what blows my mind. Like, what the hell is the point of doing that? It's kind of a sick combo, by the way. Holding this in hand just in case we might draw Valakut. Is this better than AmuLIT Titan? The obliged question. It's different than AmuLIT Titan. It doesn't just die to Aether Gust. That's what it does. AmuLIT's dead? Now it's not. But this deck doesn't lose to Aether Gust, and AmuLIT does. 2, 3. This is good. Thalia can go. This is good and this is good. Bujuki Ball can go. Blason is actually excellent. I'm going to actually cut Denialia. I don't think this matchup is going to be that grindy, and now that they showed me Containment Priest, I'm not so excited about this either while. Sure. This hand is excellent. Turn 1 Reclaimer, turn 2 Activation, turn 3 Dryad, / Knight of Autumn, / Path to Exile. Yeah, this is good stuff. A really good hand. Giver of Runes. So they probably have like, what? Because they can't have Mind Sensor here. So Temple Garden here. So I think I'm just gonna go for another Flagstone. Let's keep the engine going. And then we main phase activate here. Playing around Mind Sensor. Go get Valakut. Does Giver still Valakut Benemic Colorless? Yes, yes it does. There it is. Any land, please? Fuck. Path Hero Reclaimer, maybe? No, not in the face of... I'm gonna need this path to kill the Giver, and then I'm gonna need another land off the top to kill this Mind Sensor. That's rough. Wisp. That's whatever. Kind of doesn't even do anything. Alright, and now the... Now the House of Cards is gonna fall apart. And we're gonna win very easily from here. What? Sure that's the one you want to protect? Let's see, slowly sealed. Pass that one. We are done so here. Sackstones. This guy also hits pretty damn hard. Sure. I guess I should have got a Sacred Foundry there. Get in there. Could they quarter response and you fizzle if you don't find land? Yes, but if that was the case, then I was good just going to. I know, yeah, that would have been fine. Yeah, that was the line. That was the lines from opponent's side. We did have the path, but we were still kind of forced into that situation regardless. Imagine having pro green and then you get shot by a big volcano. That's hilarious. This card is so good. Imagine having a 1-drop that it's just a sick top deck in the late game as well. So 1-drop. Like you play it on turn 1, it's insane. You top deck it on turn 10, and it's great. So much value. This deck looks fun. How hard is it to pilot? Very. Very hard. I still catch myself making stupid mistakes. And I'm probably the person in the world that has played the most with the deck, and I still find myself doing just making terrible mistakes. I think I'm going to assume that my opponent is on Dredge, and having that in mind, I am going to play Thalia here so we cannot get Cathartic next turn if my opponent finds a land. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Oh. They just kept an unkeepable hand with Jund. That's so much easier. Thank you for that follow. Tuesday MTG. Isn't this funny how Thalia just attacks here? It's hilarious. Ren and Tix. Resolves. So we're gonna kill the Ren next turn. Sweet. I think I want to have more mana to work with. I don't think you should ever in a bazillion years keep a 1-lander with Jund, right? That is just always and forever a mistake. Look at how I got rewarded there. I love this deck so much. I love this stupid deck so much. It's great. Yeah, our opponent is To be fair, one thing that I want to point out is that a lot of my opponents play poorly because this deck is not popular yet. I assume that people are gonna make less mistakes once this deck becomes a little bit more established. I don't know how many less mistakes you're gonna make, but I have to assume that people are gonna be, once the deck starts catching on, people are gonna be a little bit more careful. Look at us getting insane value by drawing any non-land and then drawing another land. How many lands have we drawn this turn? Probably, I think I'd rather play Steve here. Actually, Tracker is not a bad draw. Tracker and Courser synergize so well, for real, right? And when you add being able to play multiple lands a turn, you really get the full trifecta. I think I'd rather have a 4-3 here. Because that's what they're going to take, obviously, right? So I'd rather just have a 4-3. Take my Thalia. I'm going to be drawing like 5 cards next turn, so... Don't care too much about anything that my opponent is doing over there, if I'm being honest. How would you describe this deck? Is it mid-range toolbox with access to a game ending combo with the Valakutes? Yes. That's exactly how I would describe it. I would probably say that it's it is definitely a ramp deck too. Like, we are trying to ramp. Good old onboard tricks. They never grow old. Good old onboard tricks. Lightning bolt, you say? Hell yeah, Caleb. Welcome to the Primetime Stronghold, my friend. Thank you so much for that. Tier 1 sub. Really appreciate it. Yep. Onboard tricks, alright. Onboard tricks, alright. So, got these Vials, got these Thalias. Easy peasy. Utter domination, exactly. Lanchi Chiotto, thank you for that follow. How's the control matchup? Good. That's why the deck became a thing in the first place. Because this deck beats Save the Gust and AmuLIT doesn't. Interesting that they chose that spot to think the game was over and not 3 turns prior. I don't know, my friend. You know what I'm saying? Players may concede the game at any time. This deck makes me want to resub to Mana Traders and play Waters again. Yes! That's what I'm talking about, George. That's what I'm talking about. Hey, Leonid. How's it going? Sorry, but why are we playing Sacred Foundry? There's a Slayer Stronghold in this list. Singleton Slayer Stronghold. I can Valakut on 1. Alright, so this is gonna answer some of these questions. Never splash in this deck except for lands. Yeah, I mean, it's like a mini splash, right? If I cannot activate Stronghold, I can still play it as a land, right? It's very different that than like having a card I cannot cast in my hand, right? Very, very different propositions. Going full. Feels like I'm probably gonna have to shock here, which I don't love, but if they have like a Liana or a Ren or something like that, like the tempo loss is just way too much to come back from. Thoughtseize. Never mind. At worst, it's a third placer field. Yeah, and you can fetch it with Flagstones, right? I'm not convinced that this is even worth it. That's why I'm playing this list right now. I want to figure that out. I'm not convinced that it's worth it. I am convinced that I want to try it out. Second Goifo. Okay. I think I'm gonna go with the high upside play, which is to play the knight here. We're gonna take a bunch of damage from these Goifs. If they have Liliana as their last card in hand, Celebi, but Bolt. Okay, so I guess it would have been the same with the Knight of Autumn. Brutal. Drawing pretty badly here. Do we have anything that stabilizes here? Dryad? No. Golos stabilizes now. We're gonna purge the Ravine, obviously. There we go. Go down to 1. Golos. Yeah, it's not the board state for Nylia, unfortunately. Tough. That's okay though. Yeah, just do the same thing again. Oh, got updated record. You're right. Oops. Has it happened to you as well? Like I just have this random like mic stand here, and I don't know. I just need to mess around with this. My biggest weakness is this one. This guy right here doing this is just too much. I cannot stop it from happening. Like it just has to happen. It's kind of insane. I think this is a fine keep against a deck like Jaunt. That means they have to have another... They have to have another discard spell here. Maybe Liliana? Yeah, there's a second discard spell. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Alright, anything that's not a land. Don't have a bolt. One time. By the way, this is the 60th card in our deck right now in the current configuration, right? We just were unlucky enough to naturally draw it both games 2 and 3. But this is the worst card in our deck by a significant margin right now. Vienna, Season Pyro. Okay. If they have something like Ashiok or something, we would be in the same situation regardless, right? Because I would have a 4-3 and I would need to attack into my opponent's Ashiok and my opponent takes the trade then, so... Ha! Joke's on you, opponent. My hand has nothing. Literal nothing. Anything good? Or another land that doesn't do anything. Sounds good too. Don't minus opponent? Okay, cool. Fuck me. Ah, good stuff, good stuff. Good stuff, good stuff. That's really funny. Yeah, we have to chomp, right? Dread off the top might still win this. We drew 5 spells total. That is probably... I think that might be the first time I've ever lost with John with this deck. Yeah, so far I don't like this list. I'm gonna go as far as to say that so far I don't like this list. Did I try to draw it on land? Oh, man, I didn't see the line. I think I'm okay with 28 lands, but I think that 29 just feels like one too many. And I have yet to see the upside of Stronghold. It honestly seems not worth it whatsoever. Ekros MTG, thank you for the raid. Welcome everybody from Ekros's stream. What were you playing today? Because here we're playing some Titan Vial. Okay. Bottom Visuba. We played against this opponent earlier. They were on Jundo. Biggest raid ever. All raids are appreciated, my friend. Think you'll get the hang of it, of drawing down lands. Just need to get the feel for the deck. Yeah, exactly. I'm new to this deck, you know. What are the chances my opponent has a push or a bolt? If I get to untap this with this Reclaimer, it's not that good even. Sultai Midrange Pioneer with Growth Spiral. Yeah, I heard that that thing is just legit. It's just legit. I think we played anyways. Well, that's what I'm trying to figure out. Like, how do my next turns look like? Even if this Reclaimer survives, I'm probably gonna play Steve on turn 2 anyway. I think I don't want to play this Reclaimer. If they push bolt, it's not on tracker. Yeah, but my theory here is that we can get to a point where I play tracker and Reclaimer on the same turn, forcing my opponent, like making my opponent's mana a little more awkward. So that is precisely my point. Clearly they don't have a discard spell, so we can discard we can discard that assumption. And that actually seems mighty fine, if you asked me. So now I can go get a Temple Garden here. Liliana is rough here. Yep. Liliana is pretty rough. Probably gonna be in the call here. Another tracker. Now the real question. If they minus Lily, do I sack Tracker or do I sack Reclaimer? See, we've been to Steve here. Discard second Lily. Courser. All right, let's go. Land on the top. Fuck. Definitely attacking Lily here. Brutal. Oh. We need to dodge one more turn. We're gonna be fine. They might have to Lily minus here, though. What to do with Liliana? I think that they have to minus. Yeah, I'm not blocking. Thank you very much. Go nuts. Uh-huh. Ugh, they have more business. Crap. Goif. Yep. They plus. I sense a little bit of disrespect for my good friend Reclaimer here. I sense a decent bit of disrespect. We just call for Dryad, right? And if we get a string of like, oof. Bingo, baby. Bingo, baby. Do we just bog them? Sure. Ding. I guess I should have attacked with Courser first. Because that allows me to kill the Goif. I think my opponent punted this game by not minusing Liliana when they had the chance. They got greedy and they were very punished. Alright, so now we win the game. whatever the hell you want, my man. Nothing that you do matters anymore. So this stays on 3. I actually want to draw this. Well, that's sick. Well, that's also sick. Wasn't that lethal? Probably, but like it doesn't matter anymore. Like once I kill this and I answer this, like my opponent doesn't have draws anymore. Top decks have been insane. I mean, my top decks were enough to punish my opponent's misplays, right? I had no business winning that game. I shouldn't have won that game. The typical line of killing the board to force the concede. Yeah, exactly. It's more fun to just clear your opponent's board than it is to just kill them, you know? Split on the worst card in the deck. We can Vial against the discard and set Black Mulligan because we can't double spell that often anyways. Yes. That would be a way to see it. I'm excited for the Silly Pioneer list. Yeah, tomorrow's gonna be Dono League's Day, so we're gonna be playing it tomorrow, and we're gonna be. We also have a Legacy Dono list as well. So I'm gonna try to cover all the Dono lists tomorrow. The Pioneer is probably the sweetest one. We're gonna do Legacy Ant. We're gonna do the Pioneer Silly deck, which is kind of awesome. And I think I had like a Living End Dono list as well. I'm gonna cover that one as well. Okay. So if we do get to untap, we probably just win. Unless they have like discard plus push or something. Classic. It's insane how bad this card has been for my opponent. Like, it's been so bad. It's been laughably bad. Laughably bad. Also, they ate the wrong thing. They definitely wanted to keep the Triad in the bin because of making Goyf bigger. So my opponent's not playing the tightest Magic I've ever seen. Not playing the tightest Magic I've ever seen. Can you save yours for... Yes, that's fine, Stabs. Let's do it. Yeah, I'm going to start with... we're basically going to record the Titan... which solves. Do you want to make your Goyf smaller? You don't. Okay. Nice Hashiok. Bolt you. Bolt you. Sounds good stuff. Stab, sorry. I'll see you tomorrow on stream. I'm gonna leave your list for last. Saving the best for last, obviously, you know. Random ticks. You got it. Got the push. Gonna need the push, my friend. Gonna need the push. Something good? Aren't they just dead? Yeah, I guess that we can Flagstones. We can Ghost Quarter or Flagstones. Yeah, I thought that we were missing some damage, but yeah, you're right. They were just dead. I forgot that I could blow up my own Flagstones. I don't think it matters too much. I mean, we already have 1, 2, 3, 4 triggers. So yeah, I guess we do have lethal on just on boards right now. So I'm gonna kill my opponent whenever I get the choice. Okay, I'm just gonna do it on instead. But yeah, we did have lethal. I just was silly. Ballsy attack. Oh yeah. I could just kill my opponent, or, and bear with me here, I can just overkill them. How do we feel about that, chat? What's better? I love how they're just letting me go through it. Okay, you want to do this, opponent? I'll do this. If you want me to clean your board, I'll do it again. Don't worry about it. Never tell me what to play with my food. Yeah. I'm gonna steal a page from Aspiring Spike's book. Oh no! Same opponent for the 3rd time today. 3rd time in 2 leagues. No, this is very, very common. This is very, very common to happen. Basically, if it's the last match, if you just finish your league and you immediately queue into the league again, then what's gonna happen? It's gonna look at. Wait, no, that's. Okay, my opponent's. Yeah, that's BS. That should not happen. The first 2 were different leagues for me, but this is just matches 4 and 5. I mean, it's not like I'm having fun playing against the same deck over and over again, right? Like, this is just... That's ridiculous. Poor opponent getting some quality time with me. Yo, again, it's just it feels bad. Like I kind of don't want to play against John again. Like I'm kind of over this matchup, you know. My opponent says I can't win versus your deck. I mean, I'm not gonna lie that it's not a bad matchup for me. Probably gonna take a land risk call. Seems like the best pick up here. Well, the good thing is it does seem like we have figured out the John matchup, okay? Also, we immediately draw the card that they discarded. You love to see it. Well, that's pretty interesting. If they tap out, I think I'm going to call for Reclaimer. Or if they have another discard spell, obviously. Goiful. Oh, I miss you, Castle, so much right now. I miss you so much. Okay. So the reason I'm doing this is now I can make the Reclaimer a 3/4 whenever I want to. No blocks, thank you very much. Sacred Foundry, no. I'm gonna get another stones here. Sometimes you just feel that the Reclaimer's gonna live, you know? Play field. We win next turn. Unless they have something good. Can tell you what, but I may have broken the Mox meta. Nice wombo combo. So have there been anything you changed about this deck in your latest testing? I don't seem like you were testing out many new cards. Flex spots are like Thalia still in the deck. I never said that Thalia was a flex slot. Thalia is very much not a flex slot, actually. Thalia is very important for the deck. But yeah, I don't think I've ever repeated a list since I started playing the deck. I've been trying out new things every single stream. Five, six. So this is my Titan mana. Can we draw a Dryad so we just end my poor opponent's experience here? Never lucky. Okay. Green source. Never lucky. It's okay. We're gonna create our own green source in a couple of turns. Don't worry about it. A little bit of a slow start. It's okay. What's for lunch? There's this Italian place pretty close to where I live, and they make this pizza that's called the Yalda pizza, and it's an absolute delight. Super tasty. Oh yeah. At least they too bad that we're 1 mana away from blocking this Ashiok. Pretty brutal. It's okay though. At least they did mill themselves. Gotta give credit where credit's due. It's kind of annoying. Push. No. Oh, I'm so sorry, opponent. My opponent just could not catch a break. So brutal. All right. All right, that's pretty solid. All right. All right. All right. All right. So rough. I think we just draw cards here. Okay. Do I want to trade this tracker for the golf? I think I do, right? Because if my opponent draws a Liliana or an answer to the tracker, this is an absolute disaster. So I think I'm actually taking this trade here. Yeah, I'm not too afraid of the Clothes. But at least now... Like, if I draw Lily, it's not that big of a deal. That was a really good draw for them. I'll tell you that much. That was a really good draw for them. Next turn we can trigger field plus prime time, maybe? It's pretty solid. It's pretty solid. Stroghold seems scuffed in the deck. Yeah, I have not liked it one bit so far. I have not liked it one bit so far. It has felt straight up bad. Make zombies bigger. Yeah, I guess. Nah, Gabani Township is not a card. That was a greedy attack from them. Field of the Dead. Boom. Another Field of the Dead. Boom. Let's go. Alright, Planet 41, thank you for that follow. Yeah, I think we're gonna be fine here. Another Ashiok, but that one doesn't really do anything, right? Blackbraid. Well, it might do something. So they block here and here. Ashiok dies, we resolve Titan, we win. Yeah, okay, so I guess it didn't do anything. Okay, so we're at 5 though, so we definitely want to make sure that we can play around this Clothis. So just right click, attack all. Clear Ashiok. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 9 mana. Pro Tour favorite forge would like a word. Yeah. Well, that's like saying Delver is good and comparing that to, you know, like what's the name of the like Finkel, I think, did well in a Pro Tour. 3, 4, 5, 6 with Delver, long time ago. Maybe that was standard actually. The point remains. So we boggle them and we gain 2. Delver could easily be good in modern. Nope. Otherwise it would be. But I mean, the only way to make Delver good in modern would be to print Daze and Force of Will in the format. It doesn't seem like something that Wizards will ever do, so a few printings could easily make it good. No, it needs a lot of work. Force of Will isn't that important. Yeah, I know, but I'm saying like that is the kind of cards that Delver needs to be good, and they don't exist in modern, so that's what that is. Is Arasta underwhelming here? No. Do they have a bolt? Oh, I'm stupid. I forgot to call for a Dryad. Whatever. This is very lethal. Vala good. Sanctuary. Border just concedes. Cruz is honestly better in prowess than Delver. Yeah, kind of, right? Kind of. Like, it's basically light up the stage, right? Okay, so 3-2 with this list. I did not like it. I did not like it one bit. This is terrible. Having this in our deck is just bad. And Stronghold didn't have like a single situation where it felt like it was worth it. So I don't think I'm gonna be interested in exploring this any further after that single league. I think I have gathered enough information to know that this is not what I want to be doing. Granted, there are gonna be scenarios where the card is gonna be exactly what you need, right? I am not disregarding that, because you can always tailor a situation where any card can be good, right? We can tailor a situation where, like, I don't know, Hall of Helios Generosity would be a good card, right? But that does not mean that it's a good card, nor that it's worth playing in our deck. But yeah, I mean, it was definitely a cool thought experiment. Like, I don't regret playing the league or anything. It's just I didn't like how it felt, and I didn't like how it played out either. Particularly that very last matchup, like we were kind of lucky that somehow our mana managed to work, but like these cards didn't help me one bit, right? If anything, I think that if you want to be doing this, you should not be playing Plains. You should be playing a Forest. If you want to be doing this, playing also like you really don't want to draw these many planes. Like you're never short on white sources. Sometimes you are short on green sources, but you're never short on white sources. But yeah, besides that, well, I mean, besides that, it's basically the same league that I played in the previous one, so I don't think there might be that much to talk about. I'm probably gonna play another league with something like this. It just honestly just felt more powerful. So let's just do another league with this list, and then we'll call it a day. But for now, thank you for watching on YouTube. Appreciate that, and yeah, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. See you later.